It looks like cell towers could save some more lives and predict, believe it or not, tornadoes, specifically the 4G and 5G cell towers.
Yeah, they're saying, right now, we only get about 10 minutes warning. Meteorologists can only tell us about 10 minutes ahead of time before a tornado is going to hit. But this will give possibly like an extra 4 or 5 minute warning, which I think is huge.
The way they're going to work it is humidity. So they have humidifier readings from both the 4G and 5G that they say that they can merge together and predict these tornadoes a little bit earlier to save some more lives. It's not going to stop a tornado from ripping houses apart and stuff, but at least you can get to safety quicker.
Right. You can get into that interior room, get the mattress over your head.
Where's
get in
your
the
room?
Basement. We have the basement, so that's where we go in the very far corner. Where
we
would
got
you
a
go?
tiny closet underneath our stairs.
Yeah. I mean, you have to find the most interior room that's going to, if the walls are, this is so terrible to even talk about, but the walls are ripped away, then you are in that interior room with as much protection as possible. Getting in the bathtub is another thing they say to do.
That's going to look weird, our whole family getting in the bathtub. Ours is on the second floor.
Yeah.
So we do have to go downstairs underneath the stairs.
Oh, sure.
At least we have some kind of plan.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing. Even if we get this extra 4 or 5 minutes once they get the cell towers working to warn us, as long as we have a plan, then everybody should know exactly what to do in that situation.
And then our cell phones will be saving our lives. Yeah, once again.
Rob and Liz, his morning crew.
There were some friends, and they were just out. They were doing some camping and hanging out by the lake. They were in Montana, and all of a sudden, they started hearing this sort of like this over and over, just this banging, banging, banging. And they look around, and there's a skunk that has a glass jar, what they said was kind of like a pickle jar, stuck on its head. So I can see the conversation. All right, who's going to go take care of it? Because the skunk's not going to know what's happening. And so the skunk will spray you. And that's never a good thing. So
What'd they do?
they ended up taking care of it. They had a box. They used the box to sort of, I guess, take the brunt of the spray.
Did it?
I guess. Actually, they said it didn't spray them.
Good.
I bet it did a little bit. But anyway, so they were able to the jar off of its head, and the little guy just scurried away. But there were no injuries, and they kept the friends from being sprayed. But
probably had instinct that somebody was helping. Probably had that thought.
That's a smart skunk because, it's a wild animal. They don't come into contact with humans that much. And you've already got a pickle jar on your head. It's already a bad day. And now a box is coming at you.
Why spray somebody who's trying to help me out?
Rob and Liz, his morning crew.
Great architecture.
Oh, sure.
It's
I can
beautiful
see that.
in Denmark with the architecture, especially with this new castle that they have just built.
Ooh.
Yeah, and here's the thing. They brought in, to make this one castle, because it's a record-breaking castle, they brought in 5,357 tons of sand because it's the world's largest sand castle.
Oh, that is big.
The thing's about 70 feet tall.
How big?
It's humongous, 70 feet.
Oh, my goodness.
It's huge, and it's beautiful, and it's brilliant. And then they put on the very top of the sandcastle, and you can't tell it's a sandcastle when you walk up. You're like, what is this? It's so beautiful. It is a sandcastle. They put on the very top a little coronavirus, how the symbol?
Oh, yeah.
With a crown on it. That signifies, I thought that's strange.
Super weird.
But they're signifying that they've overcome this thing.
Oh, I like that. But where do they find a bucket that big to make?
It's not a bucket. It's a dude sand sculpting.
Oh, he's sand sculpting. You know what?
He's not walking out with a bucket of sand into the ocean, getting it wet, and then plopping it on the ground.
That's the only way I know how to do it. You know what would be terrible if a little shower came through? That always happens.
Got rid of the thing?
Yeah, or the tide came in.
Yeah. You certainly can't kick the thing down.
Goodness
You'd break your foot.
Rob and Liz, his morning crew.
Liz and her, is it your best friend?
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't want to say you went with your best friend to the beach and your best friend's listening and went, wait a minute, I didn't go to no beach with Liz. And then the family behind us, where we live in our neighborhood, it was John, Tiffany, and their daughter Kayla. We all packed in their car and drove a couple hours and went tubing.
That is so so cool that you not only got out with your own family, but you got out with other people's, family too.
It was really, really nice. And I started thinking about you and how you can get out this summer. And that's why we have some Dollywood tickets to give away all summer long.
And I love that we're doing it all summer long. So we're kind of spreading the wealth a little bit, with the Dollywood tickets. But we're also, when you get home from Dollywood and everybody's exhausted, just pop a movie into the projector there and put it up on the big screen, because we're hooking you up with a backyard movie kit as well.
Big popcorn maker that goes along with it.
Because you're going to be hungry.
Yeah, and you're going to be the cool people in the neighborhood, because you can invite whoever you want over into your backyard. So here's all you have to do. The word is outside. Outside. Text that to 800-447-7234.
You can jump online, hisradio.com, get signed up there, or on the My His Radio app.
Rob and Liz, his morning crew.
What is the most weirdest thing you've seen driving down the road when it comes to on other people's cars? This one police officer was driving down the road. He noticed that here's this car that literally had you're not going to believe this, a satellite dish on the right part of the hood of the car. A satellite dish.
Must have had a box inside for it, right? To get the reception.
He pulled the guy over and he said, "Doesn't that get in the way of you driving? Can you see?" He goes, "Oh, I have no problem. Only when I turn right. I have a hard time seeing when I turn right. That's about it. But outside of that,
That is quite the blind spot.
Really, right?
What?
Right on the hood of the car, a satellite dish.
When your show is on, your show is on, and you got to make time for it.
Oh,
I don't.
I've seen some strange things on cars before. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
She saw the duct tape, but boy.
I saw, we got into an accident with a woman who had a television in the floorboard of her car. Wasn't on when we saw her, but I thought, why is it? So I don't know if she was transporting it, but she had an ice cream cone in her hand. She had the TV on the floor, and I saw her coming while she was eating her ice cream cone, and all I could yell was, "No ice cream, Grandma, no!"
Rob and Liz,
his morning crew.
Tennessee really, really wants you to visit. And there's 4 cities that they really want you to visit, and that's Chattanooga, Knoxville, Memphis, or Nashville.
Well, good for them. They want me to do something. That's very nice. Why do they want me to go?
Well, they're trying to get more people to visit their state. Pandemic kind of shut everything down. Now they're saying, come on back. Come on. We got some good stuff for you.
I'd like a nice warm invitation, not a "I want you" and point your finger at me.
Okay.
To say, "I want you to be here."
How about this? Dearest Rob and family, please come and join us in Chattanooga, Knoxville, Memphis, or Nashville.
Oh, good. Are they going to have incentives like pay for my way?
Well, sort of. When you visit one of these 4 cities and you book between now and September 15th, we'll even give you a flight somewhere.
Okay, now you don't have to read to me like a children's book.
They're going to give you a $250 airline voucher if you book a minimum 2-night stay in one of the hotels that they have posted. And I went and I looked around. I was like, oh, these are going to be super expensive hotels that you have to stay in. And no, they have something for everyone's budget.
Oh, that's nice.
In each of the 4 cities. And so once you book and you've paid for it, then they send you this $250 airline voucher, and you get to fly American Delta or Southwest.
I like Nashville. That is a nice city to visit.
I've never been to Nashville. I've been to all the other cities.
Why does that surprise me?
It does, because it's not that far. I mean, of a drive, really. I've just never been.
It takes a full day to get there.
Well, I mean, I'm sure, but it's not that bad. I've driven longer to get to Florida or, wherever. But why not Nashville? I don't know. Never been.
Well, now they gave you an incentive.
Rob and Liz,
His morning crew.
There's this one guy that found some bowling balls in his backyard.
Not just 1 or 2. He found like 158 bowling balls.
That's how many he counted. Apparently, there's more.
Yeah, he feels really sure that there are more. I mean, they're under the foundation of the home. They're just kind of in the backyard. They all look to be about the same bowling ball. Like they're the same color, kind of a black and blue, but
it's all bowling balls.
Why? Like, why? Was there a bowling alley there?
Something is just different about this. He had a leak in his. He never would have found them if he didn't have a leak in his house, and so he started busting concrete on the outside of his house to go find the leak, and There was one bowling ball, two bowling balls, 158 later and counting.
Can you imagine?
It's like, yeah, on his own backyard. That's just so different.
Well, I'm thinking spruce them up a little bit, give them a little shine, and then open your own bowling alley because you got half the inventory that you need.
Sell
right
them
there.
on Amazon,
Yeah, you
eBay,
really could.
something like that. Facebook Marketplace, they might show up with these bowling balls that are in great condition. I mean, they're still good.
Still usable, but I
That's
don't.
crazy.
I talked to my husband about something that we may have found in the backyard. And I can't think of anything. Somebody I know found false teeth in their yard.
False teeth.
I want to say it was TJ. I want to say
What?
that he found.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I found like half of a pair of false teeth.
The bottom half or the top half?
No, it was like half of the top.
Oh.
Yeah, so it wasn't like a full top piece, but it was like half of it.
What were you doing, gardening?
No, I was cleaning up the land, so I was taking out some little trees and stuff, and I just happened to see it in the dirt, and it was just a set of teeth looking at me.
What'd you do?
I picked them up.
And
But
I kept them.
Yeah.
I think they're still in my buddy's truck.
see, I thought so. I couldn't remember. I thought it was TJ, but I couldn't remember for sure. And I thought he still had them.
that's crazy.
You keep them on your nightstand. Talk to
Should.
him.
Put
Talk
'em
to
in a
him all
glass
the
of
time.
water.
Hello,
Yeah.
how you doing?
Yeah, well, there's Buddy's truck right now, but it's not a bad idea to put him by his nightstand.
That's so
Just don't
weird.
put him in.
Yeah.
Okay, what about you? 800-447-7234. You can call or text.
Rob and Liz.
His Morning Crew.
We wonder if you have a similar story at 800-447-7234, finding something. What about you, Tim? You're on his radio.
And it was a old 7-Up bottle, Rob, and I picked it up, washed it out, and a buddy of mine looked at it, and the date on the bottom of it was 1973.
Really? That's an old throwback 7-Up bottle.
It really is. I wonder if you kept it. But Vanessa said every time she would go out to her aunt's garden, she found tiny little dice. Tiny little dice.
Dice.
Yeah.
Like dice you roll?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm like, what was your aunt doing back there in the garden there, Vanessa? Snake eyes.
Snake eyes in the garden.
Rob and Liz.
His Morning Crew.
Well, we're hearing from Ryan. What is up, Ryan?
We lived in an old house out in a little town, and I was always plundering. I went under the house, and I found a grave.
Oh, no.
It actually had a tombstone under the house, and I showed my parents, and they're like, "Oh, it's nothing," And I'm like, I thought to myself, "No, there's a tombstone. There's got to be a grave."
Of course. Why were you crawling under the house? What got you into the crawl space?
Well, it's like this, man. We were poor. I didn't have nothing to play with, so I did everything I could to keep. You know what I mean? I stayed in trouble.
You hadn't found gravestones to play with.
How did you react when you saw it?
I ran.
I bet.
I was a little kid. Yeah, I ran. But y'all were talking about, somebody finding teeth. Like I said, I didn't have a lot to do, and I got mad at Daddy one day, and I threw his teeth in the dog pen. So yeah, that was the way I stayed busy.
Oh, you little rebel.
Yeah.
Rob and Liz.
His Morning Crew.
Typically, I make the first cup of coffee as soon as my feet hit the floor.
No, don't.
Why?
Do not ever, ever, ever do that again.
Why?
Because it's bad.
To have a cup
Really
of coffee?
bad.
It helps me. It warms me up in the morning.
Of course it does. Well, the first thought is, I'm going to have my coffee. I got to wake up.
Well, sure.
But now there are special people that are coming up with the stuff. You probably heard of cortisol before. There's a big
Yeah.
commercial about cortisol pills or something like that. Remember
It's
that?
something about the fat around your tummy
Yeah,
or something
belly,
like that.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's actually a stress hormone.
Okay.
And so that thing, as soon as you wake up, and cortisol is usually blamed for the abnormal weight gain kind of stuff.
Yeah, the middle tire.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I got a lot of cortisol.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, but it naturally spikes when you wake up in the morning. And so when the adrenaline starts to hit in, it helps us focus a little bit. And when we
Okay.
drink coffee, they say, when you drink coffee first thing in the morning, it counteracts that.
Yes.
So they say wait an hour. Because usually the cortisol peaks between 30 and 45 minutes, which is a natural way to just kind of wake up. So they say, wait an hour. That's going to be hard for people.
It'll be hard for me. I mean, at the time I wake up, 3:30, 3:45, I need that. I feel like I need that. But if it's causing a little spare tire in the middle, yeah, I'm good. I will not.
Right?
I will not
Right?
drink it.
So I started doing that. I don't drink coffee until I get here.
Well, that would be about my
And that's
plan,
a couple
too.
of hours after I wake up. So a couple hours after I wake up, then I finally have my first cup of coffee.
So what am I going to drink first thing in the morning?
Good. Water.
I mean,
Water.
just first thing
Get
in the morning,
yourself-
I don't like
get
water.
yourself ready.
I don't like water first thing in the
And
morning.
then try it for a couple of days at least.
I will. Oh, I will.
Couple
for
of days.
Sure. I'm not having orange juice because I've just brushed my teeth, and we all know that's disgusting. But
Brushing your teeth, we kind of like
No,
it when you
wait.
brush your teeth.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
remember the fidget spinners? Maybe one of your kids had a fidget spinner.
I have a fidget spinner.
You do?
Oh,
Still?
yeah, I need it.
Well, I mean, sure, it kind of focuses you and that kind of thing. I remember that slime was also a thing because when you would get into the little thing of slime and you would kind of push it around, like it just felt good and it kind of
That felt good. I didn't like slime.
You didn't like
Oh,
slime?
it felt weird.
I like it would be like
Yeah.
I don't even know, but it just I don't know. It de-stressed me.
How did you say that?
Because it feels weird. Well, there's a new thing called poppets. Have you seen?
Oh, this is new.
Yes.
I thought it was around for a while. They just came up with a new thing for these.
No, I think these are new. I've only started seeing them. And there's a little girl at church that sits in front of me that has one of these. So what it is, and it can be all kinds of different shapes and different colors. And I think they're primarily targeted for kids, but it's almost like bubbles. You know, like
Bubble wrap.
right?
Mhm. That's what it reminds me of,
Right.
bubble wrap.
But it doesn't make the. It's just you feel that same pressure when you push these little poppet
That's
bubbles.
such a nice stress relief.
It really
love bubble wrap.
is. So they make them, and I know they're saying that they aren't targeting it for kids with ADHD or ADD or anything like that, but some parents are saying it is helping their children who struggle with those things to maybe refocus. And more than anything else, like you said, it's taking you away from your device, from your screen.
It's called Pop It.
It's called Poppets, yeah. And they have, like I say, all different sizes. You can get little tiny ones that fit down in, your pocket or whatever. But then there's some huge ones too that take a little more to do it. But once you've popped them all, you just flip it over and they're on the back and you do it again.
Oh, there you go.
I know, and no screen, so yay!